And what would you say to Mrs May as she ponders whether she ought to say that actually if her deal goes down, then yes, we may have to delay Brexit Day?
Well, first of all, what she's got to do is not split people up between Remainers and Brexiteers. She's got to say, how do you best negotiate the best deal for the country? And you best negotiate a deal by saying the default position is no deal. You've got to look what your leverage is in there. And we always knew as it comes to the end of that negotiating period, you always knew it was going to get more and more difficult. But just as the EU looked like that they could give the Prime Minister what she needs to get her deal through, the last thing she needs are people within cabinet or otherwise and the opposition telling her to remove the no deal situation. She has got to go forward with as much strength as she can to get the best deal for this country.
And if the price to be paid for retaining that position is the resignation of ministers, so be it.
What she'll do now is she'll speak to those ministers who will be waiting for what she's got to say, look, I need this for negotiating strength. But remember as well, all of those people who are wanting to extend Article 50, wanting to delay Brexit and stop Brexit are all Remainers who've never come to the terms of the fact that the country voted to leave. So what the PM needs now is them to hold their nerve. I think they're losing their nerve. She needs them to be strong, follow the will of the people and allow her to get the best deal.
But to be clear, we've had them writing in the newspapers saying, look, if Mrs May doesn't get her deal through and doesn't extend Article 50, then they will quit. They've been pretty clear about it.
OK, well, it usually works like this. You would speak and see the Prime Minister in private to tell her what you're going to do. And like I stood down, I never came on the airwaves to you threatening what I was going to do and doing that to the Prime Minister. I spoke to her, I explained my position, and then I said, so I can't be part of your government. I know that because I have different viewpoints. Those people shouldn't be threatening and going to the papers and weakening her hand. If they're going to go, then go. And if you're going to stay, stay and support her. But this leaking and briefing to the papers is not on when we want our Prime Minister to be as strong as she can. The whole of a sort of Parliament on the 29th of January gave her that power, didn't we? All voted for the Brady Amendment. We all said the backstop has got to go, and she got then that support from everybody to go forward. These people now can't, as I said, I think they're losing their nerve. She needs their support, not for them to bottle on her.
But if you want the Prime Minister to go into the negotiations with the strongest hand possible, surely she is undermined and significantly weakened if she has a whole load of resignations, including from the Cabinet.
But they were people who voted Remain, some of them campaigned for Remain, and they've never understood that democracy only survives if the people on the losing side concede to the will of the people. The democratic vote of this country was to leave. Therefore, it is incumbent upon them to listen to the people. We are public servants. They've got to listen to the will of the people, go forward and support her.
And how do you respond to the fears they have expressed about the damage no deal would do to the country? We've heard from the likes of Michael Gove, himself a prominent Brexiteer, saying food prices, for example, would have to go up if we left without a deal.
And what we've said for a long time, you always had to do no deal planning. Unfortunately, some of the arch Remainers in Cabinet didn't want to do some of the no deal planning. But the good news is it got done anyway. Civil servants are brilliant at going forward and getting this work done. However, what we've also said is come out on the correct date, the one that is in law or in statute. Don't try some clever way to circumvent the law and what's on statute. Come out, and should you need, it has different terms. Some people call it a bridging period, some people call it a static period. But just like in a deal, we had an implementation period which we were paying for, a hefty price, £19 billion. We would say in a no deal situation we come out, and then that allows a period of time that would allow people to sort out tariffs and move on. But always remember what the vote of the country was. That's all everybody's got to keep at the back of the mind, because going against democracy, going against the people when we are the people's servants doesn't bode well. Trust is at the heart of this. Democracy, trust, and us being good politicians to our people.
Esther McVey, thanks very much.